The Cut-Ups by James Marshall. Spud Jenkins and Joe Turner were a couple of real cut-ups. They made their mothers old before their time. To say nothing of Spud's little brother, Jerome. Being a cut-up was a full-time job. It required imagination. Do you have the snake? I thought you had it. And considerable skill. Spud's Tattoo Parlor, 5 cents cheap. They ought to be locked up, folks said. If it wasn't one thing, it was another. It's too late to separate them, said Spud's mom. School starts soon, said Joe's mom. Maybe we can hold out. One afternoon, the cut-ups were relaxing between activities. We get away with murder, said Spud. That's because we're so smart, said Joe. Hello, boys, said a young lady. Her name was Mary Frances, and she drove her own sports car. Wow, said Spud and Joe. What a great car! They fell all over themselves trying to make a nice impression. You guys are real cut-ups, said Mary Frances. Where'd you get that car? Said Joe. I built it myself, said Mary Frances. Oh, go on, they said. I did, said Mary Frances, and I built a rocket ship too. Sure, they said. I'll show you, said Mary Frances. Hop in. And she took them over to Maple Street. Who lives there? Said Joe. Oh, that's where dear Mr. Spergel lives, said Mary Frances. Look at all those signs, said Spud. Those are just for grown-ups, said Mary Frances. Dear Mr. Spergel lets me play in his yard whenever I want. He just loves kids. He used to be an assistant principal. Private property, keep off. Don't you dare show no mercy. You'll be sorry. No. At that moment, Lamar J. Spergel, who'd had enough of kids to last him a lifetime, was observing them through his high-powered binoculars. There's that brat, Mary Frances Hooley, he said, and 2 of her little friends. If that kid's car so much as touches my yard, I'll grab it and keep it. Lamar J. Spergel had a whole room full of kid stuff. Mary Frances hurried them on by and took them to her backyard. Wow, said Spud. You weren't kidding. Does it fly? Said Joe. Of course it flies, said Mary Frances. I don't fly myself because I get nosebleeds. Let us, cried Spud and Joe. Well, I don't know, said Mary Frances. Please, they cried. Mary Frances finally agreed to let the cut-ups make a test flight. Hot dog, cried Spud and Joe, and they climbed aboard. Are you ready? Said Mary Frances. We're ready, said the cut-ups. Mary Frances released the giant spring, and the rocket zoomed into the air. Over the bushes it flew, right past Lamar J. Spergel's window, and smack into his prized flower bed. My zinnias, cried Spergel. Out of the house he charged. You'll pay for this, he cried. Holy smoke, cried Spud. Run for your life. The cut-ups tore off down Maple Street, but Lamar J. Spergel was gaining fast. We're done for, cried Spud. Got you now, cried Spergel. Mary Frances rushed into Spergel's house and gathered up as much stuff as she could carry. Thanks, boys, she said, and she laughed all the way home. Hey, 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 hey. Just as Spurgle was about to pounce, his battery went dead, and the cut-ups were able to make a safe getaway. "I never forget a face," called out Spurgle. "Gosh," said Joe, "that was a close call. I guess Mary Frances was wrong about that guy." "Let's forget the whole thing," said Spud. "School starts soon, and we can really cut loose." But little did they know that Lamar J. Spurgle had decided to return to education. And Lamar J. Spurgle never forgot a face. The end.